She was just changing the trash bags when she spotted a number that cost the company billions. Hello and welcome. In today's video, you will learn how one ordinary cleaning lady upended the fate of a massive corporation. But why a cleaner? Why do we rarely think about the people who keep our offices spotless? How can someone so inconspicuous uncover secrets hidden behind the walls of a luxury high-rise? Today, you'll see that even the smallest role can wield incredible power. Anna was born in a small town where everyone knew each other. From childhood, she learned to value honesty and hard work, helping her parents on their farm, carefully handling tools, and dreaming of a peaceful life in the big city. After graduation, she moved to find work and soon was hired by Galaxy Tech, one of the largest electronics manufacturers. It was her chance for stability, a steady paycheck, a friendly team of cleaners, and official employment. Despite her daily grind, Anna kept her kindness and warm smile, greeting the security guards each morning, bringing them hot sandwiches and cheering them on before their shifts. Anna lived on the outskirts of the city, dreaming of a stable life, a cozy apartment, a hot meal for her family, and confidence in tomorrow. But reality was harsher. From morning till evening, she worked as a janitor in Galaxy Tech's central office. Her day began at 8 a.m. when most employees were still asleep. Anna wheeled her cart through empty corridors, wiped down cafeteria tables, changed trash liners, and polished every restroom. By 4 p.m., the halls gleamed. Yet every Friday, she stayed late, cleaning up after the office closed, returning home around 9 p.m., every muscle aching from exhaustion. After work, Anna hurried home to cook dinner for her two sons, help them with their homework, and tuck them into bed. Then came the chores: laundry, tidying up, paying bills. Her apartment was small but cozy, a single bed, an old sofa, and a modest dining table. At times, it felt like an endless cycle of work and worry, with no hope for change. How often do we forget that behind our comfortable offices stand people whose stories go unseen? Everything changed one late Friday. After a long shareholders meeting, Anna was cleaning the conference room where hours earlier executives had debated billions in revenue. The table was strewn with empty coffee cups and a few printed documents. As she wiped a spill, her rag caught on a report left behind. She glanced down. That number. It was larger than the annual budget of an entire region. Could it be a typo? The room was silent, broken only by distant footsteps, as if the entire office was holding its breath for her reaction. That night she barely slept. How is this possible, she wondered. Opening her seldom-used laptop, she downloaded public income statements from the company's website, comparing last year's revenues line by line. Hours passed as she noted every discrepancy in her notebook. By dawn, her pages were filled with figures that didn't match the official reports. The next morning, Anna returned to work determined to find more proof. She discreetly photographed documents on her phone, navigated the storage rooms, and even borrowed the copier to make extra prints. At home, she used her small printer to organize the pages into a neat folder. When a manager hinted, "Some things aren't meant for you to see," Anna felt a fire ignite within her. She risked her job, her home, and her family's security. Yet she couldn't stop. Like any investigation, there were dangerous moments. Anna worried her phone might be traced on the corporate network. She resorted to sitting in a nearby cafe, using its free Wi-Fi to email encrypted copies to herself. Late at night, she sketched a diagram on butcher paper. Company names, payment dates, offshore accounts connected by arrows and colored markers. Each detail brought her closer to exposing the scheme. Gradually, her evidence grew. She built a timeline of suspicious expenses, phantom projects, shell company contracts, untraceable offshore transfers. Every new sheet, every photograph reinforced that this was no mistake. It was theft on a grand scale. Despite the fear, Anna kept collecting data, even salvaging slightly burned report pages to recover crucial information. Her diligence left no room for doubt. This was a crime against shareholders and employees alike. But the pressure mounted. Her shift suddenly extended into late nights. breaks were shortened, and one evening she was summoned to the admin office without explanation. There she was accused of breaching corporate policy and asked to sign an ambiguous document. She refused, sensing a trap. She returned home with a pit in her stomach, haunted by nightmares of losing her job and the roof over her family's heads. When fear threatened to overwhelm her, she remembered an old co-worker's advice: find allies if you want to make a difference. The following week, she reached out to an independent journalist recommended by a friend. In an encrypted message, Anna outlined her findings and attached sample pages. The journalist replied with detailed questions about her timeline and methods. They agreed to meet at a quiet cafe, unremarkable and dimly lit, to avoid attracting attention. At the cafe, a man in a simple sweater greeted her. He listened intently as she recounted her story, asking clarifying questions and scanning her documents. He didn't flinch at the scale of her evidence. He was ready to act. He promised to verify her materials and publish an expose if they held up. Anna felt relief. Her voice was finally heard. That same day, she consulted a lawyer specializing in employees' rights at major corporations. The lawyer confirmed the company had violated transparency laws and concealed financial flows. The lawyer presented two options: file a class action lawsuit on behalf of employees or report the case to regulators immediately. Anna weighed the risk with her family and co-workers. Together, they decided to pursue both paths. The journalist would publish the story, and the lawyer would file a formal complaint. They drafted a checklist of actions, assigned roles, and set deadlines. It was a bold move that demanded courage from everyone involved. That very evening, the article went live. It detailed Anna's findings, described the offshore networks, and laid out the company's hidden transfers. Viewers were stunned. Comments poured in asking, how could this happen, and where were the watchdogs? The story spread across social media under hashtags like Cleaner V's Corp and Truth Prevails. Galaxy Tech issued a brief statement. We are reviewing the allegations, but trust was already eroded, and people demanded accountability. Weeks later, regulators launched an official investigation into Galaxy Tech. The fines exceeded $300 million. Stolen funds were returned to the public coffers, and employees received back pay and bonuses. The company adopted new transparency policies and third-party audits. A local workers' rights group held a ceremony to honor Anna's efforts, presenting her with a certificate of appreciation. Anna no longer cleaned offices. She accepted a position leading a small internal auditing team at a different company. Her days now split between analyzing reports and family time, but she never forgot her first mission: to seek the truth. Her sons beamed with pride, and friends admired her courage. The city hosted a modest ceremony at the community center, where residents first learned how one cleaner's determination changed everything. Anna always believed that truth is stronger than fear. Even when colleagues doubted her, saying, "You're too stubborn, nobody cares," she never wavered. Her inner compass pointed only one way: toward justice, and that resolve carried her through sleepless nights and endless doubt. If one simple cleaning lady could expose a massive scheme and fight for justice, imagine what you can do. Ask yourself, are you ready to take a stand for what's right? Don't be afraid to question, to act, and to stand by your convictions. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button if Anna's story inspired you, and share in the comments how you plan to be the hero of your own story. See you next time.